Hey guys, did you miss me? I missed you. So, thank you for tuning in, giving me your eyes and ears and your attention in my All About Me segment. So, let's get right into it, shall we? Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar. We know he's an unstoppable force. Crazy momentum, strength, athleticism, just off the charts. Brock Lesnar. No matter how many times you say that name, though, Bo Jackson will say, Brock Lesnar, who? Brock Lesnar had made a comparison of him to Bo Jackson, 2.0. And then Bo Jackson was asked his thoughts on the, comparison, whether it was a compliment or whatever. And Bo Jackson simply said, Brock Lesnar, who? So that's a slap in the face, I would like to say. It would make more sense if Brock Lesnar would have made a comparison between him and Ken Shamrock, because they both have, had their hands in UFC and WWE. But Ken Shamrock kind of critiqued Brock Lesnar's fighting and punching, calling it disgusting. So maybe that was after he didn't consider him. Either way, Brock Lesnar will be competing in UFC 200, and then he also is supposed to be competing in SummerSlam. We'll see more about that with those details. Let's go, Brock Lesnar. So, Florida cannot catch a break. Whether you are a visitor, trying to get away from it all, enjoy yourself, whether you are a resident that just knows where all the hot spots are at, whether it's clubs or whether it's a concert, just a lot of unlucky things have been going on lately. Christina Grimmie, she was a musical sensation on the show The Voice. Her life was cut way too short while she was performing at a concert. After the concert, she was doing her meet and greets with her fans, and an unknown man came up and shot and ultimately killed her. It makes me question the gun procedures. How are you able to get a gun into a concert? I understand it being laid back, but not to the point where you're supposed to compromise the safety. I believe that, behaviors can't be, placed based on, whether race or whatever the situation may be, where you just have to always prepare for the worst case scenario. And I feel that was something that was neglected, and sadly, ultimately, she paid, the ultimate price, and my prayers for her and her family. And it helps remind me of the situation of shooting that happened involving Troy Ave in a concert with him and T.I. as well. New York, they prohibit guns. Like, you're not allowed to have them, and he had one. He's trying to plead his innocence, and on the camera he was seen, shooting, and then he got also injured. By the way, if you consider yourself a gangster and you shoot somebody, you turn that card in. You are no longer gangster, okay? So it's just really sad, concerts aren't even really safe, it seems like, anymore. So I would also like to touch on the situation happened in the club in Orlando, the shooting at Pulse, where it's been reported 49 people who were shot and murdered and 53 that were injured. This was a situation that's disgusting, and it's really sad to even think about. You wonder, all the different precautions, the maybe if I did this, maybe, and in particular, they're probing the shooter's wife. She has come forward after being pressured from FBI to admit that she was aware of this situation. She was actually with her husband when he bought ammunition. She tried to talk him out of it. So my questions are, when do you value your vows? Like when should you tap out? Like when, there's threats of, your husband going to kill somebody? Shouldn't you just be like, okay, I'm going to step away from this and call and report? Because this is something that's going to have to be on her shoulders for the rest of her life. A lot of people paid the price because you decide to bite your tongue, and then you decide after the fact to come forward. You are not no victim. So I think that she should definitely, suffer some consequences for her not being, for her the no snitching, type of mindset. There's some things that you are not supposed to be loyal to, even with vows. So, and I just feel when it comes to a lot of the violence and stuff, for some reason, there's just been this real big disconnect, with just being human, not being so impulsive, not to just go with anger. There was different talks of basic, homosexuality of his, different talks of, strict background with his father, ISIS. I just feel that there's just been a big disconnect when it comes to being human, and we really need to get back in touch with that. Tell each other that you love each other a lot more, hug more, express your true, pure, positive emotions with each other. Because with how things are going nowadays, you really just never know. And I'm sorry, I just got to put this out there. Just in case y'all forgot, that Donald Trump's a jackass. He's still a jackass. He actually wanted to make comments that he believes Barack Obama, is supporting ISIS. And this is the same guy who's sitting on ridiculous amounts of scandals, whether it's money laundering, whether it's, scans with a university, sexist comments. And you're talking about Obama having ties to or supporting ISIS? Get a life. This message was to let y'all know that Donald Trump is still an asshole, or excuse my language, he's still a, he's still a jackass. He just want to let y'all know that. Okay, excuse my language. So anyway, so thank y'all for tuning in and watching me. I will be here next week. See y'all.